Barak, Yahweh, Alam, Shalom, righteous family. Welcome back to TRU-TALK. And every now and then, y'all may see me do little videos like this, where I just encourage, especially our women, our Hebrew women, the Negro, the so-called Black woman, the Negro woman, to not only love who she are, but embrace who she is. Because it's understood that we have lost a lot of power. A lot of times we don't understand our power is in who we are. And when we water down ourselves and change ourselves to conform to a society or to a people, then we do ourselves discredit. We put ourselves in servitude to those people, spiritually, mentally, physically, and every other way. Now, why I might be doing these videos like this lately, sometimes the Most High, he just spontaneous. He just allow for things like this to happen, but he allowed for me to do this lately and put it on my heart because I've been having conversation with, especially our Hebrew women, our so-called African-American women that's descendants of the slave trade. And I did not realize how much self-hate that is in our sisters, that you would not think that would have self-hate. The way that they think, the way that they view their skin texture, the way they view their hair, they live. And I know it's got a lot to do with programming and social media and the standards of beauty. It's not the Negro standard. It's a Caucasian/Asian standard. They just want our lips to go in there and our hips and our body sizing. But nevertheless, for a long time in this society, still to this day, Black has not been the beauty standard. Still to this day, we shocked and surprised when they put a dark-skinned Black woman to be the face of anything. And if it is a Black, so-called Black woman, then she'll be either light-skinned or mixed, or even if she got a brown complexion, they'll put so much makeup on her, but they'll make her look lighter than what she is. But once again, I realized how much self-hate our people got and how much we've been conditioned to hate ourselves. And it weighs so heavy on my heart where you can either do two things. You can complain about it or you can change it. And if you're gonna complain and not change it, then why complain? So I want to complain about this. So if I want the right to complain about it, I got to do something to try to change the narrative. And I want to change the narrative. And I know I may not have many ears listening, but the ears that do hear, I hope that the Most I plant a seed in you. And once again, I just want to edify. I'm not trying to make you be proud. Pride is wicked. Pride is evil. I want you to be confident. I don't want you to be proud to be a so-called Negro woman. I want you to be confident. I want you to say what I am is more than enough. And I'm glad and happy and satisfied to be what I am. And I wouldn't be any other race. And, I will hope every other race would feel that way about themselves. If you white, Chinese, Mexican, wherever your so-called race, or your nation is, be proud of it. Be proud of who you are. But I want to go back a little bit because before I show this video, I want to give a little short history of how a lot of these things came about and why a lot of our women feel the way that they feel. I'm gonna just be honest, it's sad. A lot of our women are damaged. I didn't realize how damaged they was until I start having deep conversations with a lot of, excuse me, I start having deep conversation with a lot of them and realizing that wow, a lot of them, you know, to carry on how they do, I gotta commend them. They are very strong because in a society that beats you down, I think as a man, we built a little bit more for it. One thing my mama told me, she said it was gonna be harder on you because you're a man, but it's gonna be even harder because you're a black man. And a lot of times we accept the fact that we are hated and we gotta do it on our own. And not trying to get in a whole nother different conversation, but so-called black women do have more benefit. They do get hired more, and there's more jobs and resources for the Negro woman than it is for the man. But then they walk in this society kind of forced to be the provider and have to deal with, no good mans and even be ostracized and decriminalized and degraded for no good man. Instead of people attacking the no good man for not being there and being a good man and handling his responsibility, they say, "Oh, woman, you should have picked better. There's better options out there." And it's not even trying to get in that conversation, but that whole argument is just flawed when you turn around and flip it on its head and reverse it, because the same dudes act like that there's no good so-called black women out there, and they got a story of some sister that broke their heart, and it's like, where's your fault? Let's use the same argument. You should pick better. But nevertheless, just the fact that, and maybe another thing why it affect women so different, because how the man is wired and how the woman is wired. The woman is wired where she kind of want to feel sexy. She kind of want their attention from her man for it. She want to uh, feel wanted. We kind of man, we just want respect, and we all want love. But with a man, with his love, he want to be respected. But with a woman love, she want to be appreciated and valued as who she is in a certain way. But let's get a little history. Now I remember what there was talking about doing the slavery or the chattel slavery that was forced upon our people in the South and North Americans, uh, even in the UK and other parts of the world, but mainly in the South and North of America. there was a thing where, for whatever reason, they wanted us to cover up our hair. I'm gonna just read a little bit, and I'm gonna start right here, where it says South Carolina. I'm gonna start right here. It says South Carolina passed the Negro Act of 1735, which provided stipulations on the type of clothing Black people was allowed to wear, outlawing anything more extravagant, which means expensive, than Negro clothing. And then it start naming some of the clothing: blue linen, check linen, all these clothes that they felt like was expensive or was too good for a Negro to wear. So they hit a law and said Negroes cannot wear these clothes. What type of mindset you have to be like? That's why I said this hate had a lot of jealousy and envy in it, where you didn't want these people to be the best that they can be, because there's obvious fear that they're gonna outshine you, or you feel like they're better than you in some type of way. So you gotta bring them down and make them feel like they're not, and make yourself feel like that they're not and that you're better. This is, in my opinion, what white supremacy is all about. White supremacy is no more than white inferiority. White people knowing they inferior, so with their anger, with violence, and with the power the Most High gave them, they discriminate, hate, and try to bring a people down and to make themselves be more superior, because otherwise they're not, without uh, warring against the people. Because if I see it like this, if I'm comfortable who I am, if I'm superior, then why I'm so worried about a race that's inferior? Why I'm making all these laws against a race that's inferior, that they can't wear expensive clothes and they got to do this, and why I'm keeping these people from succeeding and having jobs? If I'm superior, they ain't no competition. Put them in a line. It's like, if we lining up racing and I think I can beat you, then why would I put myself way in front and put you way behind and say, oh, I'm superior, so I'm going to beat you? Of course you're going to beat me in most cases. But if I feel like that you had no competition, then we're going to line up equally. Like anything, I may take a little step back because I feel like, hey, you inferior. Let me give you a chance. And the whole idea of picking at us and making blackface is really childish, ain't it? Picking at somebody because of their color, and we talking about grown people. And these are supposed to be intelligent people. I'm just saying. But I don't know, kind of childish when you just look at it for what it is. Where I was. So anyway, in Scott's Plain, Governor Esteem Bean, I don't even know these names. I'm gonna skip these names, which was a Spanish colonizer. For all y'all camps out there, Spanish. For all y'all essays of Mexicans, let's try to say these are our people. No. Passed the ethic of good government, which require Black women to wear their hair bonded in a kerchief or a tignon. Additionally, Black women was prevented from wearing the same jewelry or plumes. When I looked up plumes, plumes are like feathers, like big feathers. So you ever look at them old time movies and you see them old racist white women with those big heads, and those heads may have a big uh feather in it. That's what that would be considered a plume, or any clothing or head that got feathers, or these big feathers in it. So they had to tie up their hair and couldn't wear jewelry, nice clothes, or these feather things on their head. As European, as women of European descent. Now I want y'all to keep that in mind. As women of European descent. And I'm gonna go down here. And I'm gonna start right here. It says to the man of European descent, part of enforcing the WAN hair wraps. So it's gonna get why they passed this law and why it's so important for Black women to cover their hair. Wearing the hair wrap was to discourage plantation owners and slave masters for pursuing women who was deemed beneath them. Well, these women beneath them, you don't have to try to set laws and do things in place to prevent them from dating. It's like, man, how can we stop these plantation owners, these slave masters, from raping, violating these beautiful Hebrew slaves? We got to make them ugly as possible. We got to cover up their blue beauty, because these men, they just can't resist. You know what I'm saying? It's almost laughable, but when you just put it plain, this is what's going on. They trying to make the Black Hebrew slave woman unappealing to the slave master, so he would not lay with her. It's still telling the slave master to control himself, or not, or for the slave master to have that common sense to not rape and abuse and sexually force himself on his slave of servants, both male and female, which a lot of times they don't talk about the male part. Then in South Africa, similar laws was passed as a behaving of slaves mistress who felt to the head wrap was prevented white man from pursuing Black slaves. Now, one of the reasons I told you to pay attention to this, they wasn't allowed to dress and be as fashion as the white European woman. Because I heard this statement made multiple times. And when you think about it, there's a lot of truth to it. That says that a lot of people, the white man has done a lot of murders, a lot of damage, a lot of killing. But what's more dangerous or deadlier, and she be more feared than the white man, or has been just as capable as the white man, is his counterpart, the white woman. A lot of times we overlook the white woman because they want to make like they was oppressed, and the whole thing about they couldn't vote, and they were just half wise, and they wanted more jobs. And we see how today that, oh, this feminist and junk taking over and destroying society. But nevertheless, there's a such thing as called pillow talk. There's a such thing called husband and wife. And a man's biggest influence is his wife, the one that he lay with, the one that he had kids with. A lot of wars has been started because a so-called Caucasian woman, Yale raped. The Black Wall Street came to its demise because of the so-called white woman that admitted she lied. That even back then she wouldn't press charges because she knew that she was telling a lie. Only the Most High, she and that young man know what went on in that elevator. But from the evidence and from her own statement, seemed like that he wasn't paying her no attention and she just lied on him. Got a whole community wiped out. Many people died. The Emmett Timmett story, and so many untold stories that you can only know because they've been passed down by your grandparents. If you are a descendant of slave, you know there's stories that your grandparents, if you were fortunate enough to uh, be old enough to remember your grandparents, because a lot of our grandparents died when we was young. But if you were fortunate enough to have grandparents, and they told stories of how life was, or how a black man just walking and whispering, whistling, and a white woman would hear him whistling and say, "Hey, this black man whistling at me," and he'll get hung, even though he got his own wife and kids, and not even studying this white woman. That would be a case a lot of times, and he'll be written down, Negro whistle at white woman and try to oppose itself, and and we had to come in and handle business, put that Negro in his place. So it wasn't even safe for a Negro man to go out in public and to whistle. There's been cases where it says that a black man looked at a white woman and looked at her in a certain type of way that she felt uncomfortable, and she'll yell, "He looked at me and or looked at my breast, or he's looking at me strange," and he'll get hung. And I was gonna make a separate video. I still may make a video about it, but that's why I feel no pity for what's the actor? I forgot his name, because you should know better. But nevertheless, let's carry on. So when this white woman is laying beside her white husband in the middle of the night and nobody's know what they talking about, you think this white man came up with these laws all by himself? Or do this sound like an insecure white woman where she was like, well, make that Negro cover up her hair. I don't want that Negro to wear nice clothes. I don't want this Negro woman to have jewelry on, to look appealing in any way, and vice versa. The white man was like, well, I don't want these Negroes to dress nice and look good for my Caucasian woman to lust after us, because there's many stories of slave master wife forcing herself on the slave servants, on the male servants, and will tell them, hey, if you don't lay with me, I'm gonna say you tried to and get you killed. So it was like, if I lay with her and get caught, I'm gonna get killed. But if I don't lay with her, I'm gonna get killed. And there's been cases where the wife or the daughter of the plantation come up pregnant and the baby come out Negro. And then she yell rape, or they end up killing, not knowing who the daddy is. They just go through hanging every black man in the camp. These are facts, true stories. So yes, I like to say that the white woman is just as dangerous as the white man because through all this, she been by his side. And a lot of times she been the one motivating him. You know, when you look at the Ku Klux Klan, yeah, it was, they had a branch that was specifically for the women, but even more than that, the women would come and cook for the men and knew what the men was going, and would iron their white sheets and wash their white hoodies and stuff and get them ready to go to the meeting. Pack them little lunch meats so they can go to their uh, Ku Klux Klan meeting. But once again, pillow talk. When that white man is laying next to his wife, you can imagine the conversation they having. And it make most sense why these laws came up. Well, they saying cover up the black woman hair so the white man won't lust after her. And when you understand this history, fast forward today, you understand why they had to teach us to hate ourselves. They had to tell us our hair was unprofessional, that it was messy. Why do you think it wasn't even what just now some law passed, the Crown Law, where they can't discriminate against black women hair and their hairstyle and black people hairstyle? Why you think these laws are put in place? And if these laws are put in place where you can't wear your natural hair and there's a stigma on your natural hair, if they don't like you, if they want to make you look bad and funny, then why not allow for you to wear your hair if it's that bad? If it's that much make you look bad and so sad, then wouldn't that promote that so they can prove their case about how unappealing you are? But as we know for history, they wanted you to cover up your hair because they didn't want their men to lust after you. So what is this ideal about your hair that make the so-called Caucasian man lust after you? And I tell my black women all the time, when I get a chance to, a real man, a real black man that ain't been programmed, there's nothing more beautiful. There's nothing that we like or want more than the so-called black woman in her natural state. Man, we love black women with their natural hair. And somehow they don't get that, even when we tell them that. The programming is so deep, the hate is so deep, they don't believe it. They can't accept it. They go and talk about, well, in this society and well, what this man said, and I don't get less attention and all the other stuff. That's deceitful and just flat out lies about who you are, black woman. Your dark skin is rich in beauty. It shines. Your dark skin, your natural hair. I know our women's come in all different shades and sizes and texture of hair and all that. But a dark skinned natural hair woman, top notch. Even if she's ugly and unappealing, just because of her dark skin and natural hair, she's top notch. She's beautiful. And now we understand why they taught y'all to hate yourself, why they don't want you to wear your natural hair. They want you to hate yourself. They want you to hate your natural hair. So you don't wear your natural hair. So they don't have to pass laws to do it no more because now self-country, you have so much self-hate that you covering up your own beauty, that you hating your own beauty. Now I'm gonna show you the power of a dark-skinned woman with natural hair. Videos like this kind of give you an idea. This is a dark-skinned woman walking down, look like a strip in somewhere in the United States. But I'm not too fond on how she dressing. Her dress is way too short, showing too much legs. But nevertheless, look at the looks that this family give her. From the daughter to the mom to the daddy to the son. And I can imagine, this is just a short video. You can imagine they follow her and watch how many people just look at her and turn around. It just show one family doing that. But if they follow her down this whole thing, I'm pretty sure at least 45% of the people that's walking down here got a second glance. And I'm gonna show you why that is in a minute. What make you so special. I see mama gonna like you. Yeah, too many kids, but I need you. Yeah, look at the little girl. The little girl turned completely around. Take you fly to the jungle. Tell me anything gonna do for you. Money on my. Look at the husband. The husband turned around and look at the son. Even the son looking. And the wife like, wow, she's stunning, ain't she? Look at that one more time. I see mama gonna like you. Yeah, too many kids, but I need you. Yeah, when I take you fly to the jungle, tell me anything gonna do for you. Money on man, I wanna miss it. Send your love, doesn't matter. We are together. I see mama gonna. Now, this is what happens now. I know black women are beautiful, but there's something about when you wear your natural hair. It sets you apart against every other nationality, and it brings out your beauty even more. That any man in his right mind cannot resist. The idea that y'all look better with weave and straight hair, y'all look different, and y'all change y'all look beautiful, and of course, changing your hairstyle and all that, showing a different look of you. You're beautiful anyway, but you're more beautiful and unique and stunning with your natural hair. That's what you need to understand. That's what I hope y'all understand. And if y'all do understand this, then we need to be teaching the youth this. If you do understand this and don't wear your natural hair, then what are you doing? What are you promoting? Because as I read the comments of this video, you see a lot of so-called black women, a lot of Hebrew women making comments about how black women are beautiful and how her hair is stunning. But in a profile picture, they got weave in it. They love to see another black woman wear her natural hair and get praised for it. But it seems like they have not overcome their self-hate and their insecurity to do it themselves. But why? Daniel 7, verse 9. I'm gonna show why you so beautiful and unique, and why when you wear your natural hair, that top notch, you knocking every other race of woman dead. I behold the thrones that was cast down in the ancient of days, did sight. This is Daniel, and he's showing He's writing down the vision of the Most High, not Christ, but the Most High, the creator of all things, Yahweh, Yahweh, where all things come from, how he appeared and how he looked. He said, the Ancient of Days, which is the Most High, did sit, whose garments was white as snow. So he had a white garment on, and the hair of his head like pure wool. Stop right there. That's all I want to read. The hair of his head was like pure wool. And when the Most High said, I made you set apart and above all people, you got to understand that who we are set us apart. And one of the things that set us apart is our hair. That's why they want to touch our hair. That's why you got people in Chinese and China palming their hair, getting the afro, copying the afro, because the Most High, we are amazing people. There's something about, like I said, Black women are beautiful in every way, but when you wear your natural hair, there's a different type of beauty. There's a different type of authority. There's a different type of power that you have. And that's why they want you to cover up, just like the name of Christ. They changed the name of Yahweh Shah or Yahushua. They changed his name to the JC name that has nothing to do with his Hebrew name, because they know the power that his name has. So they can take away the name and the image and basically have you serving a false God with a false name. It kind of diminish the power when there's power in his name and you're not saying his name. When there's power in your natural look, because the Most High created you different from everybody else. The Most High made you unique. The Most High called you his own people. The Most High hair resemble our hair. Ain't that's powerful? Now you know what type of power and authority you have. Now you know why they want you to cover up your hair, because when you wear your natural hair, there's power in that. There's beauty in that I don't think y'all Black women truly understand or recognize. And they don't want you to understand or recognize it. They want you to continue to get Asian hair and virgin hair and wigs and make up these excuses that you can't grow hair. You can't grow hair because you've been getting a perm, been getting chemicals that you can't even touch with your hands. You got to put gloves on that literally burn your scalp, and the fumes itself burn your eyes. It's that powerful. You've been putting that stuff in your hair since you was 9 or 10. And then you do it every 6 months. And wonder why you can't grow your hair. You've been killing your hair. And I'm talking about 75% of so-called Black women been doing this, perming their hair since they were 9 or 10. By 8, 9, or 10, the first time they got the gist from me, you perms. And in their 40s, never wore their natural hair. Been getting their hair perm ever since. Don't even know the texture of their hair. Don't even know how to take care of their hair, because they never really had to deal with their natural hair. But pure wool, how do pure wool look? I'm gonna show you how pure wool look. Pure wool is this. Ain't this beautiful? From the dreadlocks to the braids to the mini afros to the mid afros to the large afros to the larger afros to the twist, all the plaits, all the different hairstyles. You can braid your hair in over 1,000 different styles, from plaits to puff. I mean, let's be honest, the Caucasian lady only got 2 hairstyles. Well, 3. Putting her hair in a ponytail, weighing it down, putting it in a bun with a little bang. But as a Black lady, you can do so much with your hair. So many styles. Your hair is so beautiful and unique, along with your skin color, along with your wide nose and your puffy lips. That's not ugly, that's beauty. I mean, I'm gonna just be honest, when I see white women with them skinny lips, look like a line drawn and that pointy nose, just straight pointy, like a carrot, to me, that's a turn off. Like I said, I'm a man, any woman can turn me on, but I'm not attracted to any other woman but the Black woman. So-called so-called angry uh Black woman, the drama field, loud, ghetto, all the stigmas they want to put on to stop you from being who you are. You can be who you are. And I want to touch on this word ghetto because a lot of things are not ghetto. A lot of things are just Hebrew, just our culture. But they throw that word ghetto on it for a stigma. Uh, but ghetto is not a bad thing. Being ghetto is not a bad thing. And being ghetto is not one thing. I know a lot of ghetto women that are quiet, meek, but they from the ghetto. Nevertheless, this is just supposed to be short. I ain't want to take it. I ain't want to make it long. I didn't think I made it too long already. But once again, my beautiful Black queens of the world, I'm not trying to push up on you. I'm not a simp. I'm not the type of man that you can disrespect and run over. I'm not the type of man that's not going to hold you accountable. A lot of our women's out here wilding. I don't promote whoremongers from the man or the woman. I don't promote or respect or down with a woman overstepping her boundary and trying to be the head and lead a man. We got all our parole. Let me get that straight. I'm not simping. And it's crazy we live in a society where a real man is supposed to take up and respect, especially his woman. But women's in general, we supposed to protect. But in this society, if you a man and you protect a woman, they'll call you a simp. Oh, you a simp. You taking up for a woman. You trying to protect the woman. Yeah, that's what a man does. But there's a balance. If I'm a simp, what are you if you don't want to protect the woman and so-called hate a woman? Are you gay? Some of these men be, I ain't gay, but I hate a woman. Like, I don't get it. But we're gonna look at this video one last time. If I can start it. And like
I like you, yeah. Too many girls, but I need you, yeah. Wanna take you fly to the jungle. Tell me anything gonna do for you. Money, oh man, I wanna mix it. Send you a love that's better. We are here. I see your mama gonna like.
Once again, take back your power, take back your authority. And power and authority comes in accepting who you are and being who you are. Once you water down that and compromise, then you become a servant. And then we start producing children that don't love that dark skin or that natural hair. And they buy into that lie. Where the truth is here to set you free. The truth is you are beautiful and wonderfully made. You are unique, and no other woman on this planet come close to the so-called Black woman, aka Hebrew woman, when it comes to anything. You just got to do it in righteousness and return back to the Most High and keep His laws, statutes, and commandments by believing in His Son. That's Son, S-O-N, not S-U-N. Till next time, Shalom.